DBSCG things.
What's up, Yuhp gang? It's your boy Taxon, and welcome back to Yuhp DBSCG things. And today we're going over another very exciting deck list. This is going to be a deck that took second place at our last locals. This is Cumber. But before we get into it, guys, I do want to say if you guys want any custom mats and or sleeves, absolutely check out Promats. This is the best place to go get your custom card needs, and if you guys do decide to get a mat from them, make sure you guys use the promo code Yuhp to save on your entire order. With that being said, guys, if you guys enjoyed this list or my content in general, remember to hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And with that being said, let's spin it around and dive in.
Alrighty, you guys, and here we are with the list, the evil saying SS Cumber, or Cum, or whatever everyone in the community has been calling him. With that being said, this guy did pretty well at our locals today, going, I believe, 2-1, doing absolutely phenomenal, only losing to Hyper Aggro. Go ahead and tell us about your matchups today and your deck in general.
Well, my first matchup was against the new 21 deck, which this is the first time I ever played against it, but I knew they could tap my own stuff. But I had some pretty spicy stuff that slowed that deck down a lot. My second play was against Super 17, which that deck is mean. It's got a lot of blockers, but I have a lot of ways to just get rid of stuff. And of course, I lost to Supreme Kai time because it's, one, I'm a little bit rougher against black decks because I can't steal anything, and because it's just so aggro. Like, that deck hits very hard, and he also kept me he kept me high enough that I couldn't Z Awaken for a really long time. But I guess we'll start with the Z deck because it's actually super important for this. So the Z leader is Super Saiyan Cumber, Battle Frenzy, plays out for 1 at 3 or less life. When he attacks, I draw a card, and then I get to choose one of my opponent's battle cards, and it just gets Servant until the end of their next turn. His Activate Battle is when he's in a battle, I can combo with 2 of my opponent's Servant cards. So usually if I play my big boss monster, you give everything Servant, and then you swing with this, and you take whatever their 2 best cards. Is like, cool, they're now my combo power. The rest of the Z deck, very simple. It's 3 Few and 3 Cumber, seeing as when Few comes out, he Z stacks a Cumber underneath him, and then for 1 energy, he plays out Cumber. These 2 are very important to make the deck go. With him having Deflect and Barrier, he's probably going to stay there no matter what. And with a Limit 1 Overwhelm, he's always there to be able to bottom deck any of your opponent's big stuff, and Cumber is there, so when he swings, or when he's played, he chooses one of your opponent's battle cards and gives it Servant. So these 2 are constantly pretty much board controlling your opponent the entire time. Anything that's really big, you can give it Servant, either just let it sit there and not swing next turn, or you can get rid of it with your Overwhelm. But yeah, that's the Z deck. Z deck's pretty simple, seeing as black doesn't really have any other generic Z battle cards yet.
I guess you could run maybe like 1 or 2 copies of the Majin Buu if you really wanted to.
I could, yeah. So now we got Evil Saiyan. The leader, pretty simple. When he swings, when he's placed, you immediately get to play Prison Planet out, which thank goodness has Barrier, because if it didn't, I'd be quite upset. But you get Prison Planet out. When he attacks, he draws a card, and his Awakening condition is either 4 or less, or if you have a Few Z battle card and 2 energy. So turn 2, super easy. He's untapped, draw 1. So you play out Few. You have 1 tapped energy. You get to draw 1, untap. You're at full energy again, and you go down to 6 life. So super easy conditions. His other auto is once per turn, draw a card on the side, and then his Activate main, once per turn, is to choose a card you control in your opponent's side of the field, and it gets Servant until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then the most important card of the deck by far is Prison Planet. This card makes it so that first of all, it makes all your mono black Saiyan cards that have a combo cost of 1 and 5k combo free, so it's not a combo cost for you. But the more important thing is, when you use Fuse Overlord skills, you can use your opponent's Servant cards. And that doesn't just mean your cards that have Servant. It means any of your opponent's cards that either generically have Servant, or ones you're giving with Few and Cumber. So it's super easy to get rid of it, and with how they ruled it, me getting rid of your cards to your deck still lets me draw a card. So it's just nothing but pure value the entire time I'm doing it, which is very strong. Like, with 21, none of those cards have Barrier, so like, here's a big 8-drop with dual attack double strike. That's gonna hurt. He didn't kill me with it. I was like, cool, give it Servant, get rid of it. Easy, super easy to get rid of.
Yeah, I drew a card.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I get to +1. I'm running 4 Few, all according to plan. I really like this Unison one. It comes out for 1 if my leader's Cumber, and I have a Z battle card in play. His +2 is I can choose 1 Evil Saiyan or Cumber card, both black, an energy cost of 6 or less, it gets Servant. So a card you'll see later will become a 29k dual attacker instead of a 19k. And then if you do it to your boss monster, he could become like a 40k dual attack double striker.
Wow, that's actually really effective. You said he costs 1 if you have a Z card in play?
Yeah, any Z card.
So it's actually good to notice that you said that you can start your Awakening Chain at 2 life, and you said he costs 1, so you get all your energy back, and you can use his effect to play him, and since you have Z cards in play, you can do all this on your Awakening turn if you want to leave yourself tapped out, which is crazy, the amount of setup that you can do.
It is very strong. His -7, which I swear I never thought would go off, I got that -7 off today one time, and that won me the game for sure, because it was against 21. 21 had her big 8-drop dual attack double striker, and I went, cool, lead skill, swing, I'll give it Servant. -7, I get to take one of their cards with Servant, restand it, put it on my field. So now I have a dual attack, double strike, 30 or like 35k Android 21, and he had to use all his resources to stop his own card, and that was for 1 energy. And then I went, cool, pay to my Cumber boss monster. So now he's used all his stuff for his stuff. Now my stuff comes out. So I really like this unison. I could easily see it being swapped out for any other black unison that would help the strategy, but I like this one as a starting point.
I like that it comes out so early.
Oh
so
yeah,
easy. 1 energy.
For
turn is good.
Yeah. So for the little guys, we got Evil Saiyan thirsting for battle. So he's just a 1-cost 5k. When he's played, you look at the top 5. You either can add. It is. Top 5 for a Few or Saiyan card, both black, 6 or less, or you can add the Unison. So the fact that he searches any card in the deck pretty much is very strong, except for the boss monster who's an 8-drop. But he's very good. Normally I play him turn 1 and then I Z-charge him, which makes the Few Z-battle card live immediately. Then we're running for my Ace in the Hole. So when she is played, when she's actually played onto a battle, her auto is you get to add one of the Super Saiyan Blue Vegetos, which I'll have later, to my hand. And then her activate main, if your leader card's Evil Saiyan or Cumber, you get to draw a card and then put this on your opponent's side of the field, which giving your opponent battle cards is important for some of the later cards. But the fact that she can search the Vegeto if I want it is very important. I did not play Vegeto at all today, but it just never came up to where that would be a good card to play. Next, we have our super combo. We're playing 4 Evil Saiyan Incipient Malice. Incipient Malice. It's a weird word. This is pretty much like the Z leader super combo, where if you have a Z leader, 2 or more Z energy or a Z battle card, it's live. And the fact that Few has barrier and deflect, this is live the moment Few comes out. It's very good. So it's an early game and a late game super combo. I do miss having Vegeta where I can bottom deck and draw 2, but this being live for early when I don't have all my setup out is very nice. Next battle card, we've got 4 Vegeta Against All Odds. So Vegeta is a 10k blocker, and he has a limit 1 counterattack where I get to negate the attack and I place it into my opponent's battle area. He costs 0 energy if my leader card is an Evil Saiyan or a Cumber. Or actually, no, so he only works if your leader is Cumber. So you cannot negate attacks with him unless you are awakened, but you're probably going to be awakened on turn 2. So it's not that big a deal. But him being on the field, very important. It sucks giving your opponent a blocker, but you can easily servant it and overwhelm it away. Next battle card, we have 4 Trunks, Prisoner from the Future. So this Trunks plays himself, his activate main is to play himself to your opponent's side of the field. You get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add a My Future or a Saiyan that is black, not a copy of himself, and it costs 6 or less. And then he plays on your opponent's side of the field, and when he's played into your opponent's field, they get to draw 1 and discard 1 card. So he's alright. Him being a 1-cost 5k means your opponent's not going to be able to combo with it very easily. Then, arguably, I think one of the best cards in the deck is for sure Super Saiyan Goku Berserk Instinct. So this card won me my game against Super 17. He is either, if he's on my field, while your leader is black, he gets 5k power and Servant. That makes him a 25k double strike. And for his activate main is if I have 3 or more energy, I play him for 1 black. So for 1 energy, I'm getting a 25k double strike. And his other auto is if I combo with him, I can give the card I'm comboing with 10k, and then I can play it on my opponent's side of the field if I want to, which is very powerful. Next, we're playing 2 Super Saiyan Blue Vegito Supreme Gleaming. So this card's pretty weird because you can Union Fusion with cards on your opponent's side of the field, and it goes to your opponent's side of the field. But its very powerful effect is when you play it, if your it says if your opponent's leader is an Evil Saiyan or Cumber card, both black. If I swing with my 8-drop, he cannot activate counter skills during that attack. So Cumber gets to freely swing, but because he's barrier blocker, they have at least one way to stop it. I do not run Smoke Dragon in this deck, believe it or not, but that's one of the best ways is to play this for free, play your 8-drop, then play Smoke Dragon to warp this card away, and now for the entire turn, your opponent cannot negate your dual attack, double strike, or your triple strike. So it's good, but I haven't played Smoke Dragon, which is needed for that strategy to work well. 4, Few, Scheming Overlord. One of my favorite cards in this deck. 20k crit Overlord. He comes out for 2. If you have 2 or more energy. If your opponent has 2 or more energy and a battle card in play, he gets played out for 2. He overlords, which having as many Fews at Overlord possible is good. And he takes a 3 or less non-black battle card from your opponent's side of the field and takes it, which is very strong if they have like a very important Z battle card, because that just gets rid of it off the board. You don't have to deal with it. And then if they have any good 3-drops, you can just steal them. Another very powerful card in this deck is Cumber, Furious Frenzy. So he plays for 1 energy. He's a dual attack 19k. When he's played, you get to choose an opponent's battle card to get Servant until the end of their next turn. And his activate main is if your opponent has 2 or more energy and a battle card in play, for 1 black, he's played out. Him plus the Unison means that this can be a 29k dual attacker, which is very strong. And if you don't want him to die, you can always overlord him before your turn ends. And it's just very powerful 2 swings. I'm running 2 Black Mass Saiyan Assault from the Darkness. Very good because my deck always has a Z battle card in play, so this is always going to be able to attack. And either on my turn I can pay 1 and get rid of a 6 or less, or during their turn I can bean my leader. Very powerful. I'm very happy with it at 2. I probably will not get rid of this. I will probably keep it. Now we got the big boy. Super Saiyan Cumber, Berserker Barrage. So this card is nuts. So if your leader card is a Black Saiyan, so it's generic to any Black Saiyans, when he's played, you draw a card, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, they get Servant until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then you get to choose to either give him double strike and dual attack or triple strike. Most of the time I do double strike, dual attack, but triple strike obviously could come up. His activate main is if you have 4 more energy and your opponent has 2 or more battle cards, he comes out for 2. So for 2 energy, you're getting a 30k double strike dual attack. And if you have out your Few, you give him Servant. That is now a 40k dual attack double strike base for 2 energy, which is very powerful. This card is a very strong boss monster, and it's the reason it's the card I won with against 21. Very cool. So the extra card package is very small. I plan on changing these, but I'm not going to change this, surprisingly. We're using 2 Evil Aura Overflow. So this extra card actually helped me out a lot today. So this card is a counterplay for 2 energy. If your leader card is a Black Cumber and you discard a card from your hand, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 4 or less, I play it in my battle area instead, and it gets Servant for the game. So this card against Android 21 plays the 4-drop Z battle card from underneath it, and I counterplay this. It comes to my side of the field. Yeah, I know. Comes to my side of the field. So now I have this big card, and its auto on play ramps a card from my deck to my energy. So 4 or less. Yeah. So it doesn't hit any boss monsters, but it hits early game starter pieces.
It literally almost hits every flood negate in the game.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I didn't think it would ever go off, but I also didn't think the -7 would go off, and sadly, both happened against the Android 21 player. But I really like this card. Now for the negate that never got activated once, we got Explosion of Malice. I put these two cards in the deck because I thought because I don't have the promo few yet, I thought maybe this would help give more cards Servant so I could activate Overlord. It never came up. I will definitely be taking this out for probably better negates. This card, not very good. And then the last card of the deck is, because I don't own Cumber or Evil Saiyan Secret Rare, I run the Golden Cooler, which I really like this card. It sucks to come out for a hard 5 energy, but the fact that he comes out and he just chooses all my opponent's battle cards, sends them to their warps, ignoring barrier, and then the opponent gets to choose 5 cards in their hand and put all the rest in Z energy, and he gets barrier. So he's a double strike barrier blocker. And then his activate main battle, if he's in rest mode, you get rid of 2 of your opponent's Z energy, restand it, and that's not once per turn. So if your opponent was stacked with a hand, you now have like a sextupled striker, double striker.
Literally 4 swings.
Like super powerful. It's very good. I definitely would play Cumber if I had it over. Both aesthetically and because that Secret Rare is just a lot better. But that is Cumber. It'll definitely go through a lot of changes, but I like it so far.
Hey, for your first build, dude, you're actually doing really good. You did well this week.
Yeah.
Do you wanna? You already did your matchups. Any shoutouts?
Shout out to you guys. I always love watching Yuhp's YouTube videos, especially when I miss weeks, so I get to see what I wasn't there for. That was always fun.
Yeah. Alrighty, with that being said, guys, that was the list. If you guys enjoyed this list, remember to hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.